Hello. I would like to thank all of you for coming here tonight. My name is Callie Schertzer, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Judge Joseph Holt, the role he played in the trial against the conspirators in President Lincoln's assassination, and his house restoration project. Judge Joseph Holt is from Breckinridge County, Kentucky. His house is still standing and located near Stephensport, Kentucky. There has been several articles and books written about him, including Lincoln's Advocate, The Life of Judge Joseph Holt. The author, Susan B. Dyer, currently resides in Breckinridge County, where the Holt House is located. She is passionate about both Judge Joseph Holt and restoring his house to its original state. Dyer has received numerous awards for her book and her work to restore the Holt House, including Outstanding Citizen of the Commonwealth by the Kentucky House of Representatives in 2008. Dyer is also a former teacher who has been included in the Who's Who among America's teachers. Lincoln's Advocate, The Life of Judge Joseph Holt, follows the life of Joseph Holt and gives insight to his life all the way from birth to death. This book depicts Holt's life growing up in Kentucky and how he worked his way up the ladder of success to become Judge Advocate General in the trial against the conspirators in President Abraham Lincoln's assassination. Chapter 1 starts out with 4 people being tried and found guilty for conspiring in the assassination of President Lincoln. Joseph Holt was the presiding judge in this case, who prosecuted and ordered these 4 to be hanged. There is then a flashback to before Holt's birth, and the story of how his parents met and fell in love is told. From then on out, the story is told in chronological order. This book depicts Holt's many accomplishments and offices held. One really cool office that Joseph Holt held was that he was Judge Advocate General of the Army. While serving in this position, Holt was able to prosecute the accused conspirators of the assassination of President Abraham Lincoln. The trial began May 1865 and lasted about 2 months. Of the 8 conspirators, 1 was sentenced to 6 years in prison, 3 were sentenced to life in prison, and 4 were sentenced to death by hanging. Of the 4 to be executed, one of them was Mary Surratt. She was the first woman to ever be executed by the federal government. President Johnson then pardoned the 1 sentenced to 4 years and 2 of the 3 sentenced to life in 1869. The other prisoner sentenced to life in prison died while in custody. In addition to the numerous jobs Holt held, Dyer also elaborates on Joseph Holt's beautiful home and the work that is being done to restore it to its original glory. Dyer includes several pictures that provide insight to Joseph Holt and his life. Included in the pictures are portraits of him in both his younger and more recent days, pictures of both his wives, snapshots of his diary, and pictures of the hanging of the 4 conspirators. There is also an entire section based solely on the restoration and reconstruction of the Holt House. There are many pictures of both the inside and outside of the house. The Holt House Restoration Project has gotten many awards and grants totaling over $1.3 million. This money is being used to restore the Holt House to its original beauty. The hope of the community is that once restored, the Holt House will be added as a landmark to the Kentucky Lincoln Heritage Trail. This amazing opportunity would bring many tourists to this landmark and in turn help strengthen the economy of this small town. As you can see, Holt has accomplished numerous things throughout his life. He has several articles and books written about him, including Lincoln's Advocate, The Life of Judge Joseph Holt, written by Susan B. Dyer. He served as Judge Advocate General and prosecuted the conspirators involved in President Lincoln's assassination. and they are currently working to restore his home in Stephensport, Kentucky to its original beauty and eventually get it added to the Kentucky Heritage Lincoln Trail. I hope you learned a thing or two about Judge Joseph Holt and the amazing role he played in both Kentucky and the United States history. Thank you so much for your time.